Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Trackside Broadcasting. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you to those returning as well. It is race 3. We will be jumping down to Trackside very shortly to get underway, to jump on board with that qualifying before we get to our 60-minute race here in the Tanzo Racing Group. As always, though, before we get started, I just want to thank the Tanzo Racing Group for letting us bring you all of the action again this week and throughout the entirety of this season. Thank you again to our sponsors, Spectra Racing, Clark St. James Motorsport, and us here at Trackside Broadcasting for bringing this all together and making all of this happen for you guys each and every single week. We are on race 3 of 8, and we are back to the Midlands at the iconic Silverstone Circuit. But tonight, we're on the international racetrack. Of course, so with me, I will not be on my own. Never can do this by myself. I need that man with every bit of knowledge about these best of British tracks. Mr. Jim, hi, hello. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I am doing very well, thank you. How you doing?
I am doing brilliantly, mate. It's a bank holiday week. I've got 4 days at work this week, 1 down, 3 to go. I cannot wait for my 4 days, mate. 4-day weekend. You got to love it, haven't you, mate? You've got to love it. But, Jimmy, I am looking forward to getting things underway again here tonight. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I think we're in for a belter tonight, so it should be a good one.
Yes, Jimmy. It is going to be an absolute cracker tonight. We are, though, like I said, we're at Silverstone, but we are on a slightly different track to what most people will be used to. We're not at the GP circuit. We're on the international circuit this evening. So how are you feeling about this track for tonight's race here in the Tanzo Racing Group?
I do love a short track. I love a short track. So the international is basically if you imagine Silverstone, if you just oversimplify it and imagine it as a figure of 8, we're on the bottom circle of the figure of 8. And yeah, it's the laps we're going to be doing, as you can see on the board, about a minute long. So it's going to be very, very short track. And yeah, should be very fun.
Well, it's about a minute a lap, isn't it, Jim? So we should have plenty of action to keep up on tonight. We've seen some of the timing differences some of these guys are setting compared to the driver behind them. I'm feeling we may see a whole grid lap tonight from somebody. Somebody might lap absolutely everybody tonight. We'll have to see what happens, though. But before we do that, and before we get to Trackside Jim, do you just want to remind everybody who's joining us at home? Thank you again for joining us, everyone. Give us a shout out in the live chat. Get your names out there. Tell us who you're backing for this one. But do you want to remind everybody just how it works here in the TRG?
Yep, so we're on race 3 of 8 of this season, and this season is the best of British. So every single track we're doing is going to be a British racetrack, and yeah, just adds a nice little theme to the event.
Best of British, every time you say it. Sorry, I just have to stand up and salute, Jimmy. sorry. Carry on.
God Save the King in the background.
Not quite. I'm not gonna serenade everybody like that, mate.
Yeah, so we've got 15 minutes of close qualifying to start off for the drivers. So that means they're qualifying on their own, so they can just put down the best lap times possible, not have to worry about anyone else on track, and then they can get the best spot on the grid for the start of the race. Then we have a brief 5-minute break for the drivers, so they can do with whatever they want, whether they want to do some more practice laps or go get a drink or whatever. And then after those 5 minutes, they all line up on the grid for a 60-minute race. With a 1-minute lap times, though, I mean, we're already down to the 1 minute 1.4 in qualifying, and I think we'll probably see about the same in race pace. We're going to be doing near enough 60 laps tonight, so it should be very, very eventful. And yeah, I do think we're going to see some lap drivers, bit of chaos, some good racing, and yeah, should be very interesting.
Well, Jimmy, like you said, very interesting. We're just over a minute per lap at the moment from some of these drivers at the top. You can see Andy White, he set a 1 minute 1.4 at the moment. That is incredibly fast lap times, isn't it, mate? 9 corners, 2.98 kilometers, just over about 2.5 miles per lap. I'm pretty much in agreement with you there, mate. I think we're going to get pretty much close to 60 laps here, pretty much, from some of these cars out there tonight. It is going to be a good one. But it's one of them tracks you've really got to be careful on. It's a best of British, and it really does follow the British track rules, doesn't it, Jimmy, mate? They're so strict on the track limits out there.
Yeah, and you got to think like, so we're doing 60 laps here, and you got to be very careful because if you cross that white line, or it's got these massive, you'll see it every now and again, these huge red curves on the inside of the corners. If you hit one of them, you're gonna have a bad time, and
You
if
don't
you
want to
go
be hitting
too
them sausage curbs.
no, absolutely not. And if you go too far over the white lines, then again, you're going to be racking up off tracks. And when you get
See,
20 of those, it'll give you a drive-through penalty. So you've got to be
well,
very, very careful.
Well, this is what I'm on about, Jimmy, when I'm talking about the strict track limits on this one. It's a very short lap. It's a very tight lap as well. There's going to be lots of cars next to each other. We've seen it in the past with different seasons and a few other races. It can space out a little bit. But with just over a minute lap time, I'm really not expecting there to be that much gap between the cars. Even if it is a back marker in front of you, you need to be so careful. What is it, Jimmy? It's 20 points, isn't it? 20 points and you will get a drive through. I don't know how many of these cars may get a drive through tonight because I'm looking forward to some very fast, intense racing out on this very short track that we've got. But
Yeah,
it's going to be a good one.
yeah. I mean, although it's a short track, the back straight and the start straight are actually quite long. And if with a long straight, you should be able to get a decent amount of slipstream, and that should help the drivers get along and
Well,
keep close together.
it should do, but Jimmy, like you said, that back straight, that hanger straight down into Stowe. If you are side by side with someone, you've only just got next to them by the time you get to the bottom of the hanger straight before you hit Stowe. You need to be so careful, I think, especially down there, because you do not want to go over track limits or anything like that. You don't want to be crashing into anybody else, taking anyone else out of the race, taking yourself out of the race. We want to see as many drivers as we can finish tonight, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, like a little bit of bumping, a little bit of defending, aggressive racing, all adds to the excitement for us viewers.
No, absolutely.
And
We love to see a little bit of paint trading, but we don't want to see anybody
no, you don't
ultimately
you don't want to see
getting
it hit the
knocked
barrier.
off. No, you don't want to see anyone hit a barrier. There's lots of runoff on this track. There's a lot of grass. There's a little bit of gravel out there. Oh,
Lots of fun little
lovely little
drifting.
spin there from Mike. I was going to say you
Oh,
saw the
oh.
same thing I did. A beautiful little drift around the corner from Mike Chadwick there as he just goes off wide at the end of that corner. But no, you've like I said, you've really got to be careful. And with the British tracks, we all know how strict they are with those rules, don't we?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And what's also really tricky is there's a part of the track which we'll see a little bit later on when we do an onboard, and there's obviously harsh track limits, but you can't actually see the white line where the track limits are. So hopefully the drivers have sort of built up a bit of a muscle memory to find out where the limits are, and they can keep it safe. So yeah, so we have got some sponsors for this season. Gaz, if you would like to let the viewers know what's going on with that.
Well, again, guys, I want to say thank you to sponsors. We've got Spectra Racing, we've got Clark St. James Motorsport, and us here at Trackside for making all of this happen. But Jimmy, like last season, we do have a little bit of a prize pool as well, and that's being kindly donated by us here at Trackside and by Spectra Racing. £100 is on the line. There is £50 up for grab for P1 in the pros and £50 up for P2 in the AMs. Out and out winner of each of the classes there. You're going to get 50 quid for winning. So there's a little nice incentive there to keep them out on track for as long as they can do, really, and try and finish up as high as they can. But Jimmy, like we mentioned before the last couple of weeks, there is a little bit of an additional, more additional incentive out there, isn't there? Let the guys know at home what that's all about.
Yep, so there will be an additional £25 awarded to the safest driver of the season. So the person who overall finishes with the least amount of incident points across each race added together.
Oh, that is brilliant.
And
And that was brought to us, Jimmy, by our very own Harry Seven as well, and his YouTube channel, Murby Goes, and us here at Trackside. So again, a lovely little extra incentive as well for the cleanest driver out there.
yeah, it's a nice little thing to add because like, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be focusing on purely the safest driver championship, but it'll be a nice little prize to the person that can prove themselves to just be overall the safest driver.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, if you're finishing P1 in class and somehow in that P1 you're finishing with the least amount of points as well, £75, it's nothing to sniff your nose about. I know that.
Oh, absolutely.
I could do with the extra 75 quid in my back pocket. I don't know about you, mate, but I'm sure some of these drivers will take that on as well. But again, thank you to Murby Goes. That's Harry Seven's YouTube channel. Get him on his YouTube, guys. Check him out. And us here at Trackside bringing you that lovely little extra incentive. But Jimmy, we are just coming up to 12 minutes into qualifying. Shall we jump down to track and have a little look at what's going on?
Yep, absolutely. So, top of qualifying times at the moment, we have Andy White leading the way in the pros with a 1 minute and 1 second. And then we have Daniel Poole currently leading the AMs at the moment with a... Oh, I have to do maths here. But I mean, yeah, just...
It's close. It's close. It's close.
It's very close. It's very close.
It's still within a minute and 1. There you go, Jimmy. One. There you go. Sorry, I tell a lie. It's 1 minute and 2 with a 10th on the board there. So leading the way, mate. Leading the way there in the AMs.
But what's absolutely mad about that time though, currently, is he set the exact same time as Harry Seven there, to the 10,000th of a second. They've set the same lap time. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
That is real crazy, mate. That is real crazy. Just touching back on last week as well, mate. Looking at that top three that was up there a moment ago, Andy White and Harry Price absolutely smashed it last week in first and second. Harry coming in top. And it looks like they're sitting well up there again at the moment. Harry Seventh did finish P3 in the pros last week. And he's not too far off in fifth at the moment. Andy White and Harry Price for mono competition, do apologise. Absolutely flying it again. But look at the times. There is barely anything there.
Yeah, I mean, Andy White though has got quite a decent lead over Harry Price and the rest of the field. But from then on, yeah, like you said, there's just absolutely nothing between it. I mean, multiple drivers with laps just thousandths of a second away from each other. I mean, we wanted it to be a close race because that makes it more exciting, and I think we might have one.
It really does, Jimmy. If you look at, if I had a quick look at the leaderboards, I know we're only on to our third race of 8 so far, but Harry Price and Andy White leading the way, 74 points apiece. If either of them two win tonight's race, we're going to have a clear winner, clear leader out in front at the moment going into race 4 after the Easter break, won't we? So definitely something to look at with them two sitting at the top of the leaderboard. But Elmer Van Beek as well snuck it in with the P1 in the AMs last week after a couple of little incidents. We lost Dan Paul last week and a couple of the others who were leading the way for quite a bit of it. Elmer Van Beek, though, sitting up there, 74 points as well, 10 points above James Vardigan's in 64. So tight there as well. 10 points in it. That's nothing. That is absolutely nothing.
No, absolutely nothing at all. Yeah, still all to play for in this championship. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, coming up to 20 seconds left of qualifying, so we'll have that 5-minute break for the drivers, and then we'll be starting the race.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's gone in now, Jim. I don't think there's anybody left out on track for us to follow around at the moment. But again, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's not the traditional GP circuit, which probably a lot of these guys at home, a lot of these drivers are probably used to jumping on when they do pick Silverstone to race. I know when I do, I always pick the GP circuit. It's not very often, I think, apart from when I go with yourself, that we're on the international. But with clear conditions for tonight, by the look of it, I don't see any rain coming in or anything from over the hills there in the Midlands. So we should be on for a pretty decent one. But Jimmy, enough about that. Let's have a look. Do you want to let everybody at home know the results there of qualifying? Let everybody know how everybody lines up on the grid for tonight.
Yep, so starting in P1, we have Andy White, followed by Harry Price, Glenn Ablard, Quinton Clumpert, Harry Seven, and then P1 in the AMs, but P6 overall lining up on the start-finish line. We have Daniel Poole, followed by Matthew Massey, Matthew Down, who is new to the season. Then we have Craig Corish, Jan Whittaker, Jordan Butler, Ryan Clark, John Harley, Raymond van der Zutphen, Elmer Van Beek, James Moore, Simon McPhee, and Christopher Haynes. Then you have Adrian Hadfield, James Vardigans, Casper Roost, Sean Clark, Denan Bronze, Mike Chadwick, and Jay Rooney.
There we go, and that is your top 25. Well, that is your 25 drivers out here for tonight, guys. Remember, any name with a blue next to it, they are in the pros. Anyone with a yellow next to them, they are in the AMs. Championship's tight at the moment. We're not quite at the halfway mark yet. Like I said, this is race 3 of 8. We're only 2 races in, but those points really, really are close. I was having a little look, Jimmy, like I said beforehand. And the top 2, yeah, they're tying in the pros, Harry Price and Andy White. But everyone else, there's really not a lot between them at all. So these guys are going to want to maximise the points that they're going to get here today at this very, very truly iconic Best of British track. But home of British motorsport racing, Silverstone is, isn't it? We're all used to it when it comes to the F1. Seeing it slightly different today, but it's truly a brilliant track.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I mean, I do like a short track, but and especially with 25 drivers out there on a short track, it just makes it a bit messy. Everyone's a bit muddled up, and yeah, it makes things a bit more interesting. Adds a bit of strategy into the race as well. And I think with a short track, it makes it a bit more difficult to kind of fuel save in the long run because there's not really that many spots where you're kind of able to basically lift and coast and gain fuel without losing too much time per lap. So should be
Do you,
very, very interesting.
do you think pit strategy is going to come into it today with it being such a short track and everybody being so close together? Because we've seen it in the past where they have leapfrogged each other just by literally brilliant pit stop. Casper Russo having a little slide on your screen there, guys. But no, do you think pit stops are going to be a massive part of today's play, James?
I mean, it potentially could be because I think an undercut is going to be quite powerful around here, especially if you can do it just the lap before the person who you're following pits in. And it would just when they're coming at the pits, you'll already be going full speed. You should be able to get the line if you can have a good out lap afterwards. Yeah, because I mean it is so short, but there is 2 kind of main overtaking opportunities with turn 2 and after the hanger straight at the back. So I mean there's plenty of opportunity to overtake because there is a lot of slipstream down the straights, but if you are stuck behind and they're able to defend that bit better, I think yeah, getting a nice pit strategy will definitely help you out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, I think with it being such a quick lap and these guys going to be actually racing each other for, I think, the majority of the 60 minutes that we've got coming up for everybody, I think these tyres are going to take an absolute hammering today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, besides the 2 straights, you're putting the whole weight of the cars. You're constantly turning somewhat through a lot of these corners, and a lot of them are quite high speed bends. You're putting a lot of weight on those tires, especially the left hand tires. So I mean, tire strategy might come into play here because I think I think you quite easily burn through your tires quite quickly. So we might see some people having to change during their pit stop. So again, that could add to the pit strategy as well. Do you stay out? Do you take worse tires but get better track position? If you're maybe able to defend better, that might be the strategy for you. But then if you think you're a bit more better at overtaking, I think changing to pit for tires, you might lose a little bit of time during the pit stop, but I think you'll quickly make it back up through the race.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different driver styles out there that I've noticed the last couple of weeks in this season, Jimmy. So I'm really thinking we're gonna have some brilliant, very nice little spin there from Denan Bronze. Tries to get himself back on track there in his last of his 5-minute warm up. But we've got 5 seconds until the end of it, Jimmy. Then the cars are going to be lining out on track. We're going to have about half a lap rolling start before the cars go out, and following that safety car before safety car peels in, hit that line, and away we go.
Yeah, I mean it is a short track, so we might get a full pace lap before we start the race. We'll have to see when they line up on the start finish line.
No, that we will indeed, mate. That we will indeed. But we're going to be starting that race any moment now. We're just going to wait for those drivers to line themselves out on track. But look at that, Jimmy. Look at that Silverstone. Iconic building, iconic track. I'm so looking forward to this one. And you never know, we might be back here later on in the season.
Oh, we have got a short short outlap, so that could make it. Yeah, so they're not going to have as much time to warm their tires before they get going, and yeah, it should be interesting because I mean, it's a cold track, 19 degrees, so it's not particularly warm, and yeah, short laps. It's going to take a little bit longer to get the heat in the tires, So they're going to have to be very careful for the first maybe 3 to 4 laps to start with.
I tell you,
Um,
Jimmy, it's going to be a cold track out there, like you said, cold tyres. But it's a bit warmer than what it is at the moment here in the Midlands. I am very close to this track. It's currently 9 degrees air temperature outside, so it's a little bit warmer down there for them boys than it is for me actually sitting here in the Midlands.
Yeah, and slightly nicer conditions. But yeah, so we're going to start off. All the drivers now going to follow the safety car that you can see on the far right of your screen there, and then the drivers will be doing a little bit of weaving, just gets that little bit of extra heat in their tires, do a little bit of braking before they start the race. So the safety car has already dipped in. So now they're going to go through this little set of corners, and then as soon as the lead driver crosses the start-finish line, that is when the race will be underway. So
They'll be
let's
going
see
down
them.
the Hamilton Straight to hit that start finish line, won't they? And it should be coming up any second now. And
And there we go.
away they
And
go.
they are off.
There
So
you
yeah,
go. So we'll have to have a look, see what happens here in the first couple of corners. Jimmy, cold tyres, very bunched up close together. Are we going to have any early incidences? We've seen it previous weeks. Are we going to get it again today?
I think we might see a few. And yeah, everyone's keeping it fairly clean so far, which is nice. I mean, like we always say, if you do make a mistake, now's the best time to get it out the way and overdone with, because you'll have another 60 minutes to make up the time. But no, these
60 minutes
drivers
is not a
keeping it.
long lap. Sorry, I was just going to say 60 minutes is not a long lap. You can very easily catch yourself back up. But at the same time, you can very easily get yourself a couple of laps down.
Yeah, I mean they are keeping it very clean, very tight together so far already. A couple of people looking to make some moves already. You can see people taking a look around the other drivers, and no, I think they are, yeah, very very sensible so far.
Yeah, normally we've seen it in previous weeks where you can see in the back of the
Oh, a
camera
little
someone
dive down
spinning off.
the inside. Yeah,
Oh, right on cue. Matt Massey takes a spin there. Oh, someone else has gone around with him there. I'm not too sure who that is at the moment. We'll have a look at that one in a minute.
yeah. Massey just got tapped a little bit on the rear from his teammate, nonetheless, in the Mercedes. So I can't imagine he's gonna be too happy about that. But yeah, so I mean, again, short track. They're all still bunched up, and they'll be fighting for fighting together for a little bit. So it should give him time to catch up a bit better. So you can see, yeah.
So Matt Massey, we're looking at in the middle of the screen here. What's gone on with him so far? He said he took
So
a
he just
little
dives
tap,
down the
did he?
inside, and he just went a little deep, and I don't think his teammate was expecting it, and around he goes, and then I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to see if that came around with him as well there. Elmer
so
Van
Elmer
Beek.
Van Beek, yeah. So do you reckon he just tried to get on the brakes to avoid hitting him, and then just spun up the car, or yeah,
Taps the
he went
back.
a little bit too
Yeah.
quick because he wasn't anticipating it, but no, he did good avoidance from Elmer there, but sadly that has cost him quite a few positions. But yeah, the other drivers, they're all still be bunched up, still be fighting, and oh, that looked like a
Or
big crash right there.
is that? Oh dear, someone else has come round together. We'll
Oh
have to have
dear.
another look at. Well,
Aged about 80 years then with that one.
very British. Oh dear. But no, we'll have another look at that one in a moment as well. Find out exactly what happened there.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on. So, I mean, yeah, like we said, a lot of drivers bunched up. Oh, look at that little gaggle of 4 cars there. So what happens here? So goes a little bit wide, taps the driver, can't avoid it, and then oh, he's
Oh,
not holding his brakes.
no, he takes Craig
He's
with him.
still
He
not
couldn't
holding
do
his
much
brakes.
around him.
Yeah, we've seen that in previous races. You've got to hold your brakes because you don't want to be taking out other drivers.
Was that Elmer again? Was it possibly
No, that
coming
wasn't
round
Elmer.
there?
That was
Was it not? Do
a different
apologise,
member of
Elmer.
the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, it's starting to spread out a little bit, I think, because of the incidents, but I imagine we'll start to see people bunching back up fairly soon. I mean, yeah, still absolutely nothing between the drivers. We are 4 laps in, which is madness, being only 3 minutes into the race. So that goes to show you just how short the track is. But
No, it
yeah,
is. It
I
is.
think this is one of the best things about a short track is it just keeps everyone bunched up, keeps things a bit more interesting. So yeah, let's see what's going to be happening throughout the rest of the field. I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone's really been affected damage-wise. It looks like just tiny little taps here and there, and people just getting spun a little bit. But yeah, I'll be interested to see if anyone's got that many off tracks at the moment. To see if
Well, it's going to be
Can't make
something these
getting on.
drivers are going to have to be careful for with these off tracks, aren't they, Jimmy? Like I said earlier, right at the start, you get 20 instant points. You're going to be taking a drive through, and on such a short track like that, that is going to cost you so much time and so many places. You could probably go from top to maybe bottom if you get that incident, if you get that drive through at the wrong time.
Yeah, so we're seeing a nice little group of cars bunching up there. I mean, look how tight these guys are getting together, and yeah, leaving each other just enough room as they come around this. But I think yeah, he's gone a bit tight on the inside. So I think the other drivers in the Porsche of Ulmer has had to back out a little bit.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Marshmallow, I did see your comment, by the way, at the just before those lights went out. Less time to warm up the tyres. Did someone say crash on turn one? Not quite on turn one, my mate. Not quite. But good to see you again, Marshmallow. Thank you for joining us again here tonight. And Samantha Hopkins as well. Come on, Andy. I'm assuming she's on about Andy White there. So she's backing him at the moment.
Yeah, I mean Andy White's had a phenomenal season so far, and yeah, I'd be interested to see between who is it? Him and Harry have been battling it out quite a lot. So
Yeah, Andy White and Harry Price, both of mono competition. It's been them two leading the way for the last two races, and I'm pretty confident it's those two leading the way at the moment. Just waiting to put up that them leaderboards on the side for everyone at home, just to have a look at that as well. But we'll get that up for you in a moment. There you go, right on cue. Andy White leading the way at the moment, followed by Harry Price in P2 and Glenn Ablard in P3 for the pros, followed by Harry 7 in P4. Harry, I mess up your name at some point each and every single week. I do apologise, mate. It is absolutely nothing personal. If you don't like it,
I think I did the same thing last season as well.
yeah, yeah, we called. I think you called him Harry 6 last season. It's Harry 4 this season now. We got Harry 4, Harry 7. I did it again. Harry 7 in P4, followed by Daniel Paul P5 out on track, P1 in class at the moment. John Harley sitting behind them in P6 with Matthew Down, new to the track, new to the league this season with us. This is his first race tonight. He's joining us on a race 3 of 8. He's followed them behind Ryan Clark with Jordan Butler, P9 out on track, P2 in class, followed by Christopher Haynes, Raymond Van Sutphen, James Moore, Jan Whitaker, followed them by James Vardigan down in P14 with Adrian Hadfield just behind him, Quinton Klumpert down to P16 at the moment, followed by Elmer Van Beek, Casper Roost in 18th with Sean Clark in 19th, Craig Corish in 20th, followed by Denan Bronze, Matt Massey, Mike Chadwick, Jay Rudick, and Simon McPhee.
Nice.
That is your 25 out on track at the moment. And Jimmy, 7 laps in, 7 minutes down. It is brilliant to have all 25 drivers still out with us on track at the moment.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Elmer and his teammate Quinton, they've done well to kind of keep back up with the pack and get where they are. I mean, Quinton just going for a little overtake on Adrian Hadfield there. Yeah, they've done well to kind of keep up with and get back in the rest of the pack with the incident they had right at the beginning. But it's like I said, if you get an incident, best do it right at the beginning, and it gives you plenty of time to catch up and get back in the race. But Daniel
Absolutely,
Paul,
mate.
though, I mean, up in P5, I mean,
We
he's
say every
flying
week
along
that
so far.
Daniel Paul, unfortunately, last week he had a little bit of a coming together, and I believe that was with Sam Berry at Brands Hatch, if I do remember correctly. I might be mistaken there. But Daniel Paul, we did call it just before that incident, about 30 minutes into it. He's turning into the Mr. Consistent there down in the AMS. He constantly is sitting up there in the podium positions, sitting in P1 today, P5 out on track. And he's just under now, half a tenth behind Harry 7, who's in P4 just in front of him.
Yeah, that's just quickly. Good evening to you two as well, Baz Racing in the YouTube chat.
Good evening, Baz. Good to see you back with us, my mate. Good to see you back with us. Who are you backing tonight, Baz? Let us know in the comments, mate. But Jimmy, Andy White, a 1:01 4:79. We're already seeing those qualifying times. I think he was only a couple of thousandths quicker than that in the qualifying. So they are flying around already. Do you think anybody's going to break that minute mark?
It's going to be tough to say. I think if there's anyone to do it, I think it would have to be someone that's following someone like very closely, getting in their slipstream, getting that little bit of extra speed through their lap, and then having the person in front of them preferably be Andy White saying a 1 minute 1.4 there, and then being able to get a bit more speed on top of that. But I think getting into the 1 minutes is going to be very tricky for these drivers. And
Very tricky, but I think if there's going to be two drivers who've proved how quick they are so early in this season, it's your two at the top, mate. Andy White and Harry Price from Mono Competition. They've led the way all season so far. They are joint top in the standings at the moment. Like I said, they're both on 74 points in a minute, first and second. Well, joint first at the moment. There's At the moment, there's no one quicker than them two out on track. No one that we've seen so far this season. So if anyone's going to get close to that minute mark, my money's going to be on one of them two.
yeah, I mean, Glenn Avlar did the 1 minute 2 deads. I mean, he's not too far off the pace of Harry Price at the moment. I mean, Andy White is just storming ahead. He's consistently setting these lap times just a little bit quicker than the rest of them for a few hundredths of a second. And yeah, I think Andy White, if he can keep it nice and just keep those consistent lap times going, he'll do quite well. But I think the fear is he going to be pushing too hard? Is he going to wear out those tyres a little bit more? Is Harry Price potentially doing a bit of fuel saving, looking after his tyres a little bit more? Then he'll make the comeback, gain all that time later on in the race. I mean, it's hard to say at the moment, but
No, I completely agree with you, mate. I completely agree with you. Andy White, first race of the season, led the entirety of Donington, finished in P1, P2 last week at Brands Hatch, and currently sitting in P1 this week. He's playing a little bit of a back and forth between him and Harry, who's finishing each, because obviously Harry in between those two, Brands Hatch, he finished P1 last week. Mono Competition must be absolutely ecstatic with their two drivers in this league.
yeah, we have got a quick warning for car number 8 for not holding their brakes after a collision. So yeah, we did go back and take a look at that earlier on in the race, and yeah, you got to hold
Yeah,
your
we do.
brakes.
We just saw him, didn't we? It's something that we say every single week. You have a little instant, you have a little spin around, especially if you're still on track. You've got to hold those brakes. You do not want to be impacting anybody else. And that is what happened. He tagged along with Craig Corish and took Craig Corish off track with him. That is very, very unfortunate for the lad. But like we say, the rules and the regs are there, and it's the better British. And we know what these British tracks are like. They are so, so strict.
Yeah, I mean, we had back in Brands Hatch last week, we had someone getting a penalty for not holding their brakes. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, it's a rule for a reason, because just because you have an incident is no reason to potentially take someone else out. Because obviously we saw if he did hold his brakes, the Mercedes behind him would have been like further up the field. But yeah,
No,
sadly those
exactly
kind of
that.
things do happen.
Exactly that. Just a little one, Jim. Baz Racing's come back with us in the comments. He's sticking, and he's being loyal to Andy White and Harry Price. So, so consistent, and I have to agree with him. Oh, someone just took a little spin there.
Yeah, I believe that was Jan then, just kind of spun off. So what's happened here? So he's on the grass, maybe getting a little bit dirt on those tyres just before a braking zone. Then maybe getting a bit uneven braking, having to brake a little bit harder potentially because
Has he spun himself
no,
around here? Has he got on that throttle a little bit too soon? Maybe.
I mean, it
Let's
could be a
find
little bit of
out.
dirty air from the car in front added with the rest of it.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah, a little bit possibly there, Jim. And it just seems to have spun him around a little bit. Back end's come round and said hello, and waiting for the very safe rejoin there is Jan. And that is following those very strict British rules that we have here in the UK for racing on our circuits. No, lovely little rejoin. Doesn't impact anybody else. Doesn't affect anybody else out on track. Come on, Jan, keep it going, mate. 22nd at the moment. We know you can do a little bit better than that.
yeah. I mean, I think we're going to see it a lot more as the race goes on because, like we said, for the majority of the track, you're turning, which is going to add wear, add heat into the tires. And I mean, look how like just long and kind of flowing but high speed these corners are. And you think, oh, like rubber getting sort of burnt up as you go through. I mean, it's going to give you less and less grip. And I really do think we're going to see a lot of people with changing
Well,
tires as we go throughout the race.
sorry, just caught my eye there, Jim. It looks like Daniel Paul's dived into the pit lane there. I'm not too sure exactly why he's dived in so early. That is a very big undercut if he's undercutting everybody now.
Yeah. I mean, there must have been something wrong. Did he get a Did he get a penalty at all that we just didn't see? I don't
I,
believe I saw anything come up on the pit
I
board. So
didn't see a penalty or anything like that. But shall we have a look, see if something's happened out on track? No, he's just dived in potentially. What's going on here with Daniel Paul? What's in his mindset, do you think? But at the moment, that's
maybe
put
he's
Jordan
having to
Butler up into
retire.
P. Not too sure. We'll keep an eye on that one. But let's give Jordan Butler the P1 in the AMs at the moment. P8 on track, followed by Christopher Haynes in P2 and Elmer Van Beek P14 on track. Quinton Clumpett's just in his way of getting up to Christopher
Oh,
Haynes, but he's in P3 at the moment in the AMs. Top three on the podium though at the moment for the pros: Andy White, Harry Price and Glenn Ablard at the moment.
we're taking a very shallow line out of that corner. I reckon the other cars might be able to catch back up, but no, I think they're fighting together. So I think Casper just getting alongside of Adrian there just slowed him down enough that he couldn't make the move on Sean Clark. But they have got a lot of speed, getting a bit of slipstream behind him, so they should be able to catch up. And
Is he gonna make that move stick now? No.
Sean going a little bit wide there. Don't believe that'll be a slowdown penalty. No, we're not seeing anything on the board at the moment. So
It
Adrian,
looked like
you're
he was
getting
just
ahead of
inside those
Casper.
limits. Sorry, Jimmy. I was just gonna say, it looked like he was just inside those limits to me. I might be mistaken there by the camera angle that we had, but it looked okay to me there from Sean Clark.
It might have been marked as an incident point, but we'll see. No, there's no slowdown, so I think it'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, got a nice little battle here. I think Casper Roos looks desperate to get ahead. And oh, what a late lunge from him there. Just gets ahead. Can he make it stick? No, he's forced a little bit wide. Adrian gets the better line coming out of there, gets in front and gets set up way better for the exit back onto the hangar straight.
Lovely little switch back there from Adrian Hadfield to go back around Casper Roos there.
Yeah, I'm looking at that livery on that car. You can see that from space, BMW.
That's like something that you drive in, Jim, because you love those
I
bright
love a
colours
bit of a
and white.
garish livery.
You have the garish of liveries I think I've ever seen with someone out on track when I've raced alongside with you. And I've seen you in other leagues, mate. You look. Well, we always know where you are on track, put it that way.
I mean, I think that's the reason you got to go for it, isn't it? When your car stands out that much, it's easy to see. I got to say though,
No.
Casper Roos livery is very much reminding me of the Van Halen livery, kind of that Van Halen guitar kind of
Yes,
style, if you know
yes.
what I'm on about, with the
I
sort of
know.
stripes and the red and
No,
the white.
it doesn't. It looks bloody brilliant on that Audi down there, doesn't it? That Audi is a beautiful car. Only one out in the Audi though is Casper Roost, I believe, out on track with us tonight and this season. Who's picked the Audi? But just talking about liveries real quick though, James. I'm with the boys at the top. Andy White and Harry Price. That all black livery, matte black. Absolutely look at it. Just look at it. There's something evil about that, especially on them beautiful, beautiful Mercedes.
I gotta say, I'm not a fan of matte colours, but yeah, if that was gloss, then that'd be right up my alley. I mean, to be fair, if you ever catch me in a GT3 race, I'm usually running an all carbon fibre blacked out livery. So, but now
Oh,
I'm
there
starting
you
to make
go.
the move to make some trackside liveries for a little bit of
No,
flavour on
no,
the
I had a little sneak peek, mate, and they did look good. But let's have another little look at this move here with Casper Roost. See what?
So I think it's just
Oh,
both span at the same time. That's quite interesting. But then
Casper
Jan
and
as
Jan.
well. Oh, he's not going to be liking that.
So,
He's,
so let's have another look at this. So Casper, does he stick within the track limits? Here is one I'm asking myself. And as Jan come over, because it looks like Jan's slightly tracking over to the left hand side of the track here, trying to follow that line. Casper sticks it in the track limits and he's keeping it in the track
yeah,
limits. I think that's what's caused it to come to get caused to coming together. Jan pushing out to the left, Casper trying to come to the right, just to make sure he doesn't go over those white lines there. Because again, you want to be so careful.
yeah. I think Jan was just trying to squeeze him a little bit too much off track and just caused a bit of a collision there. I mean, as Fernando Alonso famously says, Gaz, take away the quote.
No, Jim, you take us away, man. With all of the knowledge there
I'm going to do
behind.
the accent, but all the time you have to leave the space,
All the
as he
time you
says.
have to live at his face. I love it, Jim. I love the accents. It's something I've not got to do this year since we're not traveling around the world. I like bringing out my little accents and my little foreign interpretations of my hi, hello, and how are you. Not got to quite do it yet this season. I keep having to switch between the south of the country, little bit of Cockney, that was absolutely terrible, and my natural Midlands speech, which everyone always assumes is a Brummie.
I mean, they're not wrong. But
Okay, we're not going to pick on my accent here. Let's get back to the racing, Jimmy. Andy White's still leading the way at the moment with a 1:14, fastest lap on track at the moment, followed by Harry Price and Glenn Blard. Closely followed there by Harry Seven. Well, not closely, sorry, he's about 11 seconds off Glenn Blard at the moment. Then followed by John Harley, Matthew Down. Remember, he is new to us this race, this season. P6 at the moment. He's not doing too bad whatsoever. Followed by Ryan Clark. And then you got Jordan Butler, Christopher Haynes, and James Moore. Rounding out your top 10, 8th, 9th, and 10th. P1, 2, and 3 in the AMs.
yeah, absolutely. And like, yeah, I mean,
So
those
we're gonna have a
guys
little,
there.
we're gonna have
So
another little look at this. Car 19, car 297. A little bit of a coming together between the two of them.
yeah, I think Raymond just went a little bit tight there. Just didn't leave quite enough space, but
Held the brake, didn't impact anybody else.
it's a little front
Oh,
bumper fall off there.
lost the front bumper there as well.
It's a weird track, this layout of Silverstone, because it's a very wide track. You could easily go 5 cars wide, but then in the corners it seems to narrow so much, and because you're carrying so much speed, you're basically pushing your car all the way to the edge, and it just narrows it down so much. It just makes it kind of difficult to fight through some of these corners without getting a little bit of a collision between the drivers. But
No, but I tell you what though, Jim, I think Marshmallow in the comments he's absolutely found the silver lining in that. The synchronized crash is quite beautiful to watch, especially in slow motion. It is quite interesting, quite good to look at, especially when two drivers take the exact same spin in the exact same part of the track and they keep it side by side. It does
it
look
is
good for us at
satisfying. It is
home.
satisfying.
There you go, proper work, very satisfying indeed. But it's not going to be too impressive for these drivers. They're not going to be very happy with that at all.
No, but I mean, Matthew Down, though, is very much gaining on John Harley there for that fight for P5. So,
Yeah,
I
under
mean,
half a second at the moment, 3/10 in it currently, chasing him down. He wants to get himself up there and make a mark at the moment in his first race of the in the Tanzo Racing Group this season.
yeah. So, both those collisions as well are under investigation. So we'll find out hopefully later on what the outcome of those are. But yeah, I mean, joining a season, 3rd race in out of 8. There's not that many left to go. In the grand scheme of things. So, I mean, getting up into P6, fighting for P5, I mean, you've got to make a name for yourself, haven't you?
Well, absolutely, mate, absolutely. And the thing Matthew Dan has in his favour is none of these other drivers out on track are really going to know what, one, he's capable of, and two, what kind of driver he is out on there. There's a couple of different lines you can take on a few of these different corners, and it's quite interesting to see which lines he does indeed take and what kind of driver we've got with us this season. Hopefully, he can stick with us for the remainder of it and really give those guys at the top a little bit of a battle in. But yeah, P6 at the moment, just over half a second now to John Harley in front of him. He's catching him. He's definitely catching him. And there's
Yeah,
that
he
livery
really
light
is.
from Jay Rooney.
And you know what I was thinking? I might be a bit mean here.
Go on, Jim. Be mean. I don't think it's in your spirit, mate, but go on, try it.
I was saying Baz Racing comes in and he's voting for both Andy and Harry. Why don't we make him
Oh, I know
decide?
what you're going to say.
Make him pick. The little Sophie's choice here of
Right,
if you had
Baz.
to pick one Baz to shout out, who would it be?
Baz, you can only pick one in your next comment. I know you want to be loyal to both of them, but you've got to pick one. Just if anything, just for us to, like I said, Sophie's choice. Let's see what you go with, mate. Let us know. Let us know in the comments. Everybody else as well who's watching us tonight. Thank you again for joining us. But let us know, who are you guys backing? Anyone that you're seeing out there that you're really impressed with so far this season? If you've been with us since the start, let us know. Give us a shout out.
But yeah, we're seeing some good driving here. Jordan Butler as well. He's consistently leading the AMs. Did we see Daniel Poole ever come back out? Do we know why he retired?
No, I still haven't seen anything from any of the marshals. I haven't seen anything from Daniel Poole. The only driver is out at the minute, Jan Whitaker.
Oh yeah, there's Daniel Poole there. Oh, interesting. We'll have to ask him and see what's going on with that after the race.
Yeah, we'll find out and hopefully get you guys an answer. We obviously can't ask him for the next 37 minutes, but no, the only driver we've lost so far is Jan Whittaker, joining us midway through last season. Not had a great start this season. Wasn't with us last week. Joined us for the first race at Donington, and I think he was out of that race as well. It's not really looking like it's Jan's season this season.
Well, I mean, I always say, no matter how difficult it gets, your best bet is to just get out there and get the laps in. Even if you are running several laps down, just get the time in, get the practice in, get used to the car, get used to the conditions, and enjoy it a bit more. So let's see what's going on here with Dinand. So does he get on the throttle? He goes quite wide there. I think yeah, he just took
Yeah.
a little bit too much speed and went around the corner a little bit too fast. I think you can generally take that line if you're doing the longer layout of Silverstone because the way you position your car. But on the short track, you've got to slow down a bit more than you think and sort of position your car more towards the middle of the track.
No, you absolutely have to.
Baz has made his decision.
Just real quick before we get to Baz's decision, just want to say, Raymond Van Zutphen, car 84, he has got a 5-second penalty for causing that collision earlier, Jimby.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. You cause a collision, you gotta be somewhat punished for it, haven't you?
Right, let's have a quick look. Bazza, what we saying then? So Baz in the comments, oh, that's just evil of us. Yeah, it is pretty evil, but we are gonna make you choose, and we did. He's gonna have to go with Andy right now. Seems to just have the edge. So Baz Racing is backing Andy White there. That is his overall. He's letting Harry Price down. I'm sorry, Harry, but he's going with Andy White, mate.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a phenomenal race. I don't think anyone can really compete with him today because I mean we've seen the last couple races. Him and Harry are both pulled huge gaps to everyone else, but they've always been fighting with each other the entire time. But this time he's pulling a lead on Harry Price. I mean, that's just absolutely mad.
No, definitely. Well, another little 5-second penalty though, Jim, for Jan Whittaker. Now he's out of the race, but he still will be penalised. He just didn't give Casper Roos any kind of space there, so he's got himself a 5-second that he will be penalised on still.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. If you're going to squeeze them, I mean, it's a hard bit of track, and we talked about it during qualifying and free race. And it's there's no line to see where the track limits are. You've just got to kind of know. You've got to draw a mental line between the two sort of. It's hard to describe without being able to actually show you the
No,
specific part that I mean. But yeah,
you've got
you
the
have
2
to imagine.
points.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you've
there's,
got the
there's
2
two
points.
points
You've
on the
got
track, and you've got to mentally
yeah.
picture where the line is. So if you're battling with someone, you're trying to squeeze them over to the edge a little bit, and yeah, I think you just squeeze them a little bit too far. And
Well, at the end of the day, Jimmy, these guys, before we go live and you guys, oh, John Harley coming together there with Matthew Down by the look of it. They sent him a little bit wide there. We'll have another look at that in a moment just to see what happened. But no, these guys, they get 45 minutes to practice. They know what tracks we're doing before the race even goes live in the seasons. They have more than enough time to get used to these track limits. Let's have another little look at what happens with John Harley
so
and
it
Matthew Downs.
comes through turn two. So obviously they're going to want to turn over to the center of the track to set up the next line a bit better. It looks like the Lamborghini's just got that bit more speed coming through here. He's taking the narrow line, so he's not slowing down to move over to the left-hand side to open up the corner. I mean, he really he's gone a little way too narrow into that. Completely misses the apex and just hits the other car. It looks like he's turning the corner more than he is, but I think that's because the hit sort of pushes him in the right direction. But no, he really
Yeah,
overshot that one, sadly.
massively overshot that one. Not
Yeah,
very good at all there from
you, you
John
can
Harley.
you can cut that corner quite a lot, and where the mud is on the track is where you can really place your tires to gain a bit of speed and gain a bit of extra room if you need to without it being an off track. So
Jimmy,
yeah,
Baz has come back to us. Sorry, I'm just going to jump in. Baz has come back to us, and he's trying to defend his answer
oh,
now. Both are phenomenal drivers, but from experience, Andy is always fast around here. That's how he's defending his decision to back Andy White out of the two.
oh nice. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, it's fair. You're gonna back the one that's better at the track, but I mean, you could back Harry, give him a little bit more of a an emotional boost, kind of get a bit
Yeah,
more.
Baz.
Behind
Yeah,
him.
Baz. You could back Harry just to give him that emotional boost, just like Jim said just there, that evil man who made you pick a moment ago. But no,
Yeah.
we're only messing with you, Baz. We're only messing. Jimmy, we're coming up to the half an hour mark. We are 29 minutes in, basically. Andy White still leading the way, followed by Harry Price and Glenn Ablard. That's been your top three pretty much since the start, and it hasn't changed at all. Harry Seven's in P4 at the moment, followed by Matthew Down, got himself up to P5 now, followed by Ryan Clark in P6. Seventh out on track, Christopher Haynes, P1 in the AMS, followed by Elmer Van Beek and James Moore.
Oh, just quickly, Casper Roost has a black and orange flag, which means he's got too much damage on the car and he needs to come in and pit.
Meatball. We like to call that one the meatball flag. That's what it looks like. And yeah, Jimmy, just like you said, you get a bit too much damage in, you're going to be called into the pits because you're going to have a little bit too much out there to be safely still out on track, aren't you?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're ever going to pit, now is the perfect time for it because this is roughly when we're going to see all the other drivers start to come into the pits, change the fuel, potentially change tyres. I'll be really interested to see what
Potentially.
happens with that. Because
Now,
I
Jimmy,
mean,
can you? Sorry, please carry on. I've got a question for you as well.
okay, well, I was just going to say, yeah, when you change tyres, obviously you've got to sacrifice those first 3 or 4 laps. You're going to be a lot slower because the tyres are going to be cold and you're going to have to be a bit safer when you're driving and stuff. But it will mean the rest of the laps after that, you'll be considerably faster than those who are on the older tyres. Although I say that, Andy White's still pulling out the 1 minute and 1 second .9s. So potentially could go long, but a lot of the other drivers are starting to slow down a little bit. But yeah, what was your question?
So my question, just to clarify it for the viewers at home, if a driver got a meatball flag, and it is around about this half an hour mark when you are thinking about making your pit anyway, obviously you're being called into the pit, you have to go in, you've got to sort that damage out. But can you also pit and do your normal tyre change and everything else that comes along with your standard pit? Or does that have to be done separately?
Oh no, absolutely. No, you can do them at the same time. And one thing for this season as well is you get a fast repair. So if you do have a huge amount of damage, you get one fast repair to use throughout the race, which basically means you can dip into the pits and it will fix your car instantly. It will not do fuel and it will not do tires, but it will fix your car. So you can go in, repair, and then out again.
But essentially, if you get the meatball flag, you can go in when you have to go in, and you can still do your regular pit at that same time as well. Because if you ask me, at the 30-minute mark, that's pretty much your ideal time on a race like on a track like this one. If you're being pulled in anyway, you may as well get it all done at once.
Yeah, I mean the drivers do have 60% fuel on board, so they can go a little bit over the halfway mark. It just makes it safe so that you can do one pit and then you're done.
So, Jimmy, sorry, just to roll it back real quick for that incident a minute ago with Matthew Down and John Harley. Matt Down has been given a 5-second penalty for causing a collision there.
Oh, yeah, I mean it's understandable if you crash another driver out, it's a penalty there, and yeah, I think he just went a little bit too deep into that corner, didn't he? Which is a shame because I mean he was having a really good race up until that point.
Well, you look at the leaderboard at the moment. I know there's pits still to happen at the moment. He's got a couple of seconds on Ryan Clark behind him, but if he can get himself, like we are seeing 5-second gaps all over the place at the moment, if he can get himself that 5-second gap on the driver down come the end of the race, who's behind him, then I'm sure it's not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things for him. Yes, it's going to go against him, but get that 5-second gap, and he's pretty much ruled out that penalty.
Yeah, yeah. I mean he's already got what is it? Not like he's over 6 seconds to Christopher Haynes at least. I mean they are scored separately, so he has got plenty of distance between him and Quinton. So basically, all he's got to do now is focus on pulling that gap to Ryan Clark and getting that extra 5 seconds.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Baz, I'm going to call you again. We'll have to get back out on track myself. Baz, we would love for you to join us out on track, mate. Let's see what you can do out on track. Join us next week, mate. Sign up, become a part of the TRG, mate. Get yourself out here in these GT3s with us. And you never know, we could be speaking to you at the end of a race if you manage to get yourself a podium. But I don't think you're going to be taking it away from Andy White and Harry Price at the moment. But yeah,
I
James.
mean, if there was two that you could that you were going to ask for a bit of advice from, it would be Andy and Harry, wouldn't it?
Hey, well, he
And,
seems to know them both and he backs them both. obviously picking Andy White because we've made him. But no, I'd love to see him out on track, mate. But I do know that someone on the Trackside Broadcasting team has raced with him in the past, and he has just side messaged me, Jim, and just said, Baz is actually a really good racer. Baz, what are you doing sitting in the comments? Come and join us for a race, mate. But Jimmy, 33 minutes, 34 minutes gone just now. Pits, we are seeing them start to come in and out.
Yeah, Christopher Hayes has just dipped into the pits now.
Yeah,
I imagine we'll start to see a few more coming through.
Is it the right time though? Because like you said at the start of the race, some of these drivers, they're going to be following someone pretty much the whole way through, 34 minutes in. And some of these drivers really have not let off the car in front of them, whether that's they've overtook and gone on to someone else or someone else has overtaken them, whatever it is. They've been racing the whole time. Is around about now when you're going to be looking at getting that pit in, do you think?
Yeah, like for example, if I was Craig Corrish here and you're stuck behind John Harley and you're just that close fighting the entire time, this is when I would just dip into the pits. Like we said, we just saw from was it Matthew down there in the Lamborghini just dipping into the pits, and just get yourself some clean air, get yourself away from them for at least a lap. Let yourself put down the best lap you can and try and get in front of the other driver. If you can't do it on track and it's already been halfway through the race, your best bet is to try and do it through the pits.
No, absolutely, mate. We saw it last week. We saw it the week before, and we saw it last season as well. You have a really good pit. You really can leapfrog yourself into a better position than when you went in. So maybe we'll see some of that today. A few of the drivers going in. Your top two are going in now. Andy White and Harry Price going in at the moment. They're currently sitting in the pits at the moment doing their pit stop. But no, it is. It's a really interesting one when you have to think about a very short track like this, how pit strategy can come into play. And sure, something these drivers will have in their mind, definitely, especially on the international circuit here at Silverstone.
Yeah, because like we talked about, fuel obviously is a big one. Actually, first off, I don't think Casper Roost is coming back out. I think he's still in the pits there.
Yeah, I think he said about 6 laps down at the moment, so I'm not sure he's going to be joining us back, unless he just wants some track time. But what's happened with Jay Rooney? Oh,
Yeah,
he's just lost
it's
it.
that one particular part of the track. It's just you're so flat out and putting so much on those tires. Like we said, you're just cooking them the entire time. The hotter the tires get, essentially the less grip you have. The same with the colder they get. You got to be in that nice little middle ground.
Oh,
Oh,
very,
that was
very
a
close.
that was a rather sketchy.
There you
That was
go.
a rather sketchy
There you
rejoin,
go.
but no, everyone's fine.
Very sketchy. Ended up helping out the Silverstone ground maintenance crew there by just doing a little bit of lawn mowing for them there.
Well, there you go. Baz said he will be back to racing soon.
Ah,
Nice to see.
Baz,
We're going to see him out on track.
Baz. Hopefully, we will see you out on track in the very near future, mate. I look forward to seeing you out on track. I'm hearing great things about you so far.
Oh,
Ryan
fine.
Clark at the minute serving his he's got a black flag there, Jimmy. So he's hit his incident points at the moment.
I think that black flag was from going into the pits too fast because he didn't have a black flag before that.
Ah, well, Ryan, you're gonna have to watch that speed as you enter the pit lane, mate. That's not what you want. So he's still gonna have that black flag, is he, when he comes out, Jim? Is he gonna have to go around and serve it again?
No, he served it in the pits and it is gone now, but it did cost him quite a bit of time. I'm not entirely sure how much time a black flag is. I mean, Daniel Paul there just getting a black flag as well, so he's going to have to dip into the pits again to sort that out, which is not ideal for him. I mean, starting the race up in first and then getting and doing that pit early, which would be interesting to know what happened with that one, and then getting a black flag at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Jimmy, it has come. We are 37, nearly 38 minutes into this race, and I have not called on you to do one of my favorite things that we do each and every week. I would love for us to do a cockpit cam. Let's jump on board with one of the drivers, shall we? And shall we have a little bit of a fast lap with them, shall?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to talk through everyone for a nice little lap.
Who are you thinking this week, mate? Shall we have a look at our leader? Shall we jump on board with Andy White when he comes back round over the start finish?
I'd say so, and they're coming up to the start finish fairly soon, so I'll be happy to do that. So we're just on the back straight now with him at the moment. And this is what I was talking about. You can get, like, although it's a short track, this back straight is so long. It's a perfect opportunity to get some slipstream and then try and get a move done. But yeah, I mean, Daniel Paul just dipping into the pits there to serve his black flag, and then hopefully he can get back out and get back racing.
So just before we do start that hot lap with on board with Andy White, mate, just want to put it out there. Casper Roost, incident limit reached. So he will be being pulled in as well, mate. And I think he's serving that currently as we speak. But Jim, take it away.
Yep, so we're going down the start-finish straight here, so there'll be a light little lift going into a right-hander into a immediate left-hander. Heavy on the accelerator, which is heavy on the tyres. Massive braking zone here into a hairpin. So remember, you've got to line yourself with the middle of the track to set yourself up for the next corner. As you come through, little elevation down there onto the right. Very careful on the brakes as you are braking downhill. Careful not to track over too far wide onto the left-hand side. And then we got the really nice hanger straight here into Stowe corner. Stowe's a really interesting corner because you're using your brake to kind of put the weight on the front of the car and rotate yourself. It's not really the wheel as much as steering with your pedals here. Tracking out wide as far as you dare to keep the speed. And then we've got this really interesting bit called the club corner. It's like a little hairpin, but you've got to be very careful. These massive red curbs on the edges of the apex here, and then get as flat out on the accelerator as you dare back onto the hanger straight. So no, sorry, Hamilton straight, my bad.
Hamilton straight, Jimmy.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's such a small lap here. Well, this could be interesting, staying on board at the moment, seeing a car coming out the pits there, and then getting that overtake done. I believe that was a lapped car, was just letting him back past. But yeah, I mean, Andy White, although he's driving on his own, he's getting to see that really nice view of the cars battling ahead of him. But you can see the speed that he's gaining on these guys as he comes through here. I mean, he's just rapid to see the pace that he's got.
No, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Favourite part of my race day is when we get to sit on board with when you do one of them. The only downside to this track, though, Jim, it's over in a minute.
Yeah, it's such a short lap, and that's why I love short track racing, because it bunches up the excitement. Oh, you can see the car in green there. You can see what happens when you hit that sausage curb on the inside. It really sends you flying, but then it gives the car next to you so much opportunity. I'm amazed that the Mustang in blue didn't manage to get past him. And yeah, John Harley doing very well to keep it on track after that. I mean, I'd love to go back and take a quick look again at that hit in the sausage curb if it was possible, but
we'll have a look at that one again in a minute. But Casper Roost here, you can see in the red and white Audi, Jim, that Van Halen livery almost that you called it. Oh, yeah. He's come round a bit too early on that accelerator again by the look of it.
But you could see even with Andy White's on board, as we went round that particular corner, he was a little bit unstable on the wheel, and it's just because you've got that elevation change there, and your tyres are getting so hot from all the previous corners, it just unsettles the car just enough to make it sketchy coming through there. Because you want to take a lot of speed, but because obviously the more speed you carry going onto that straight, the more you're going to carry throughout the straight. If you go onto it slow, you're going to be slow down it. So the driver's got to find the perfect limit for that section of track.
There you go. So we're just going to have a look at Dinan Bronze. Has he done the same exact thing at the same point in the track here? Let's have a quick look. And yes.
Yeah, they're going quite wide. I feel like the drivers need to start cutting that corner a little bit more. Yeah, it shortens it and slows you down just a scooch. But I think in the long run, it is quicker.
It's like I said, Jim, there's multiple different lines you can take on a lot of these corners on here. And I think some of these drivers do need to give that other line a little bit of a try, because we are seeing car after car after car spin around on that exact same point, on that exact same line. Yes, it will slow down a scooch. Love that word, by the way. You slow down a scooch, but it will maintain you on track. You won't spin out. Well, you shouldn't spin out nowhere near as much. Is that Andy White just going over the track limits there?
Potentially, but yeah, I think it's that thing of like slowing yourself down by maybe less than 1/10 of a second per lap. In the long run, is going to be so much better than potentially losing 5, 6, 7 seconds having a spin. And we saw it there when you have a spin and there's traffic behind you of other cars, you lose even more time.
Well, Casper Roos, that was, we saw a minute ago in that red and white Audi, and he's just popped into the comments. Casper, at this point, I think I just need to laugh. I've never driven this horribly before. Well, Casper, I've seen you race a few times, my mate, and I have to agree with you there, mate. I'm not used to seeing you do stuff like this. But no, little bit come around, and yet you had to sit there for about 10 seconds before you get yourself going. So you lost some positions, you lost a lot of time there, mate. Best thing to do, as you said, just laugh it off, mate. All you can do.
Yeah,
But
just if you don't laugh, you cry, don't you? So
no, you have to, Jimmy, because otherwise you're just going to have an absolute torrid time out there. But just coming up to 45 minutes, just over 44 at the moment. Andy White still leading the way at the moment, still with the fastest lap on the board, 1 minute, 1 second with 4.79, followed by Harry Price in P2 and Glenn Applard in P3. They have been sitting up there for the last 44 and a half minutes, them three. Anyway, Harry 7 behind them in P4. Matthew down in P5 at the moment, but remember he's got that 5-second penalty and he's nearly got 5 seconds over Jordan Butler, but definitely over Craig Corish in the pro with him. Jordan Butler sitting in P6, P1 in the AMS at the moment, followed by Craig Corish, John Harley, Elmer Van Beek, P9 on track, P2 in the AMS at the moment, followed by Christopher Haynes, who's taken up that third and final podium spot in the AMS, followed then by Quinton Clumpert, Matt Massey, James Moore, James Vardigans, Simon McPhee, Sean Clark, Ryan Clark, Adrian Hadfield, Mike Chadwick, Daniel Paul, Denan Bronze, 21st at the moment, but he's in the pits at the moment, serving a black flag penalty there. Raymond Van Zutphen, just taking that 21st spot off him at the moment. Puts Denan down to 22nd with Jay Rooney in 23rd and Casper Roos at the back of the pack, 24th at the moment. Still, we've only lost one driver, and that is Jan Whitaker for today. Tell you what, Jimmy, I'm not used to seeing so many cars still out on track this late into the race. Normally, we've lost a couple by now due for different reasons or whatever there is that happens with these guys, whether that be a disconnection or maybe just a little bit of a bad race. But it's brilliant to have 24 cars still out racing here 45 minutes into this race.
yeah, I'm actually quite surprised, and I think like one thing to note here is we see the car of Andy White. We've been on board with him for a little bit now of just following him on track, and he cannot overtake the car in front of him. And I think it just goes to show you how difficult sometimes it can be on these particular tracks of trying to get past the one that he's wanting to make that move on the inside. I think the car behind him saw and then kind of left him a bit of room. Probably not the best thing to do, because if he didn't move over, it could have been a bit hairy. But I think Andy was getting a little frustrated there, not being able to get past. But at the end of the day, they don't have to let the other drivers through. It's a race, so why not enjoy having a bit of a race? But that being stuck behind has given Harry Price a bit of time to catch up. But Andy's still got that 10-second lead on him now. It has come down a little bit, but 10 seconds with 3/4 of the way through the race here.
No, and again, Andy White just absolutely impressing out in P1 at the moment. Like you said, Jimmy, he's got, what, 10.2, 10.3, nearly 10 and a half seconds now. I'm going to shut up with numbers going forward. But he's got plenty of time there to give himself that little bit of timing if the back markers don't want to let him through, and they're going to make him work for it. But Harry Price is going to have to cut that time down if he wants to stand any chance going into the last 12, 13 minutes of this race in getting himself up there to have another P1. Remember, Harry Price did finish P1 last week with Andy White in P2, but currently at the moment, unless Andy has something major happen or some back markers really do slow him down, I can't see Harry catching up with him.
No, not at all. I mean, he's just got the raw pace out on track. And yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a few times, and I feel like we should maybe make it a regular thing. Who's your driver of the day?
Driver of the day. It's a very interesting one because I don't just want to go and pick Andy White because he's led the way. He set the fastest lap. He P1 in quali, P1 out in the race at the moment, fastest lap, like I just said a moment ago. He does really, really impress me. But I'm going to go with someone slightly different. even though he's had a penalty. I'm going to go with Matthew Down. I'm going to give it to our new driver for me personally for the day, because to come into a league like this with 24 other cars out on track with you who have all raced together consistently for the last couple of seasons, he's really, really impressed me. His times are consistent. He's 1 minute and 2.1 is his fastest at the moment. Yeah, he's on the 1 minute and 3s at the moment, a little bit of traffic. But for me, Matthew Down is really, really impressing me coming into this one. So do you know what? Me personally, I'm giving it to the rookie driver for today. I'm giving it to Matthew Downs. How about yourself?
See, I'm stuck between two, and that's why I asked you, because I was hoping I'd have made up my mind before you finished talking, but I'm not sure I have. I think Glenn Ablard has just. We've talked a lot about Andy and Harry being absolutely just crazy on pace and just flying ahead, but so is Glenn. Glenn is also pulling huge gaps to everyone else behind him, and has just had such a consistently good race the entire time. And yeah, I'm tempted to say him, but then we could say the exact same thing about Jordan Butler. Jordan Butler up in the AMs, ahead of so many pros there, and ahead of all the other AMs, to be down in 6th place, just behind your driver of the day, Matthew Down. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to choose between the two, and
Jimmy. Now we made Baz do this earlier. Pick one.
I know, I know. I'll give the honourable mention to Glenn Ablard because he's had a phenomenal race. But if you're going to pick a pro, I'll pick an AM to be my driver of the day. And Jordan Butler, I think, yeah, so far is just, yeah, he's just proving why he's such a good driver.
No,
We've talked
no,
to him a
it's a
lot
good
over the
shout.
last couple seasons, and for various reasons of funny liveries and whatnot. But he's just had, yeah, a phenomenal race today.
Jimmy, don't talk to me about Jordan Butler's liveries. I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it just yet. Yes, I do really, 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 really like that Spectra livery. There you go. See it out on track now, guys. The black and the black and the green there, looking absolutely stunning. But I'm still not over that Lightning McQueen livery that we lost. I can see he's still got the helmet on. It's just not good enough, Jordan. I can't call Mr. Kachow anymore, and I'm really disappointed over that one. You
Yeah,
made me
no,
put the pen down in anger. No,
But
that's
no, I
brilliant.
think yeah, Jordan, Matthew. I mean, everyone to be fair is up on that board at the moment. Like we said, there's the previous races we've had. There's been multiple drivers out, and people just struggling, and you get these huge gaps forming between everyone. But for most of this race, they've all been so close together. And yeah, another two people I'd want to talk about as well. That always I always find a bit of a dark horse and kind of
Go
interesting
on.
to talk about is James Varnagans and James Moore, both
Yes.
teammates, both Jameses,
Yes.
and they're so similar on pace throughout the whole race. And there's a little bit of a gap here forming up now, but yeah, they generally travel as a nice little pack, just similar to Andy and Harry there.
No,
It
they
is
really, really
interesting.
do.
Like you can see the drivers that seem to, I guess, would practice together and sort of learn off each other, and you can see them grouping up, and you see that a lot with some of the other groups as well.
No, I think Baz hit the nail on the head right there in the comments, Jimmy. They're all doing a stellar job, to be honest. And I've got to agree with Baz on that one. Each and every one of these drivers today has absolutely performed brilliantly. We've seen some great driving, a few little hiccups here and there, but nothing really that's caused any major concerns to anyone out there. No one's been massively impacted. Yes, we had that little bit of an incident at the start involving Craig Corish when he was tagged by John Harley, I believe it was. But no, these drivers, they all do an absolutely brilliant drive week in, week out. But there is one more person that I want to call out in the comments because he's here with us each and every week. Marshmallow. First off, who are you backing? Secondly, who's your driver of the day as well, mate? Because you sit here with us each and every week. I want to know what you're thinking, my mate. Let us know in the comments and we'll give it a shout out, mate. But Jimmy, 52 minutes into this race, we're into the last 10 minutes now. Andy White is still leading the way. He's got himself a 12.5 second gap on Harry Price sitting in P2. And about a 22 second gap to Glenn Ablard in a P3 at the moment. But these three consistently since the start of this race, P1, 2, and 3. Apart from the pits, mate, I don't think the positions have changed very much between them either.
No, not at all. And yeah, I mean, just look at this group of guys here fighting. I mean, this is what I love to see. And we talk about certain drivers just not being able to pull away from other people. And I feel like Quinton Klumper as well is one of them that seems to always be in a fight of some kind with a bunch of other drivers around him. And yeah, this is like it's what you want to see when when you're watching a race. Just people so close to each other, and we talked about there being a few little hiccups throughout the race, but it's all a little bit of squeezing here. People just like slight little taps here. There's never a how's best to describe it. There's never an intentional wreck going on. It's just people just pushing the cars just a little bit too far to the limits and causing a little bit of a collision with someone else. And I think that's kind of
Yeah,
it's part of racing, but yeah, there's never any malice involved, and
no,
that's
there's
what I really enjoy
the
about this.
malicious intent is never there, and I don't think since us here at Trackside have been with the Tanzo Racing Group and we followed the last couple of seasons with them. I don't think I've seen anybody maliciously go after another driver. And that is exactly what we want from a fantastic group of drivers out there. By the way, Marshmallow, I still am waiting on your answer. I will not let this one go as we come up into the 56th minute with just 6 minutes left to go in this race. But Jimmy, looking at that leaderboard at the moment, I said it earlier with Andy White, but I think at the moment, the top three are pretty much going to be your top three on the podium today in those pros.
I mean, you never know because a bit of lap traffic could make all the difference. But yeah, I mean, they've all just been just phenomenally consistent. And but
No, I
yeah,
completely agree. I was just going to say Baz is backing you on that one as well. And he just says it's good to watch how people improve throughout the season. I've got to agree with him on that one, Jimmy. I don't know about you, mate, but massively. I said it a moment ago. Watching these drivers week in, week out, as we have done for the last couple of seasons, you see the improvement in them as well. They're a great bunch of lads, great bunch of drivers, some brilliant liveries out there. And it's just something so enjoyable to watch and to cover for everybody.
yeah. I mean, I think we talked about it I think during the Brands Hatch race, or was it at Donny? But yeah, I think I used the example of like last season as well. Jan Whittaker, he went from having the worst start to the season you can ever imagine, seeing him get all the way up to, wasn't he fighting for wins in the AMs by the end of it? And
Yeah,
you
I
just
think he
see
did.
these huge improvements, and I think that's what's always really nice to see is just when yeah, that evolution of the drivers as they get used to the car, get used to the tracks, get used to driving and racing around other people. And yeah, I mean,
It's not a long season, Jim, either. It's only 8 weeks, it's 8 races, and that's not in the grand scheme of things, especially when you think about like the Formula One season, 20 plus races a year, and these guys are with each other for years and years and years and years. 8 races, and you see some brilliant improving from some of these drivers. It's just great to watch. And I genuinely stand by what I said. It is just a great bunch of lads doing what they absolutely love doing, having a thrilling race round the tracks each and every single week, no matter where we put them, what conditions we stick them in. It's just great to watch, mate.
yeah, I mean, I think the number one we've seen recently is Harry Seven, going from where he was last season up until he's top four. Like I think he's been in the top five, like basically like every race now. And yeah, he's made so much improvement. And yeah, you can say that about a lot of the drivers, just kind of making their way up the field just throughout as the season progresses. And I mean, look how close all these cars are.
I
I mean, it's
know.
just to show you how fun short track racing is, especially in GT3s.
No, it's
The
really,
flashing
really great.
there is that's the pros trying to lap some of the lapped cars there, trying to work their way through the field, and yeah, just
Yeah,
letting the drivers know that they're going to look to make a move very soon. But I mean, look how close everyone is here. I mean, I know some of them are lap drivers and all that lot, but
hey,
in previous
still got to
races,
race
we've
them.
had like 5 to 10 second gaps between absolutely everyone, and now people are just
Well,
battling the whole time. And I think this
I
this
tell you,
is what
Jimmy.
you pay for as a driver.
No, absolutely. And I know what you're saying about the 5 to 10 seconds gap between some of the drivers. And you look at their numbers, you've seen a lot of the white numbers there. So they are obviously the seconds ahead of each other. But still, with how short this track is, it's exactly what we said at the start. You're going to get a lot of close driving between a lot of these drivers, whether they're lapped or not. And at the end of the day, it's still a race for each and every single one of them. And I'm sure no matter if it's a lap car coming up behind you or you're trying to lap a car in front of you, you're still going to enjoy the buzz, the thrill of trying to race that guy in front of you and trying to get past him. Yes, you might be Andy White absolutely flying past everybody at the moment, but he's still going to be absolutely loving being out there in the mix of all these back markers, fighting with them still a little bit, having a little bit of fun. Because at the end of the day, Jimmy, that's what they're all here for. They're here for a little bit of fun.
Yeah, they're looking for a. that is at the end of the day, it's fun. Enjoy the race. I mean, ultimately, that's what, yeah, like you said, that's what they are here for.
It's what they're here for, mate. And at the end of the day, it
Or
makes it
Chris Baines
so
going to
much
make the
more
move there, getting a
enjoyable.
little bit of more overspeed, but I think he just had to back out a little bit. No, he makes lunge on the inside, gets the move done, and away he goes.
There you go, there you go. And you've got Quinton Clumper. He's got himself down to 3/10 of a second. John Harley in front of him, both the pros here in 8th and 9th out on track. He's got just over a minute and a half left to go. Is he going to be able to make that move go?
It'll be interesting to see because, yeah, he is. I mean, the pressure is going to be on John here to try and just keep those nice, consistent laps. Maybe take a defensive line here or two. And yeah, you can see him going a bit further over to the side. So we are on board with Casper Roos now. So let's see what's happened here. Again.
Is Casper still going to need to be laughing to himself?
Oh, I think he just caught a little bit of a snap oversteer there. And
Is he
does
going
he
to hit
get the
that curve,
cut?
though?
Oh,
He's
he hits
riding that
it.
curve. He's riding that curve.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, and it's just sent him. He's just
Yeah,
sent
it's
him
just
round,
unsettled
Jimmy.
the car.
Casper,
Yeah.
laugh to yourself, mate. Laugh to yourself.
No,
Don't
keep laughing, mate. Keep laughing. It's
keep laughing, mate.
it'll all be okay. It'll all be okay.
You'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine. We're not coming back to the international circuit again, mate. You'll be all right.
Yeah, if anyone knows him in real life, please go and give him a hug for us, just because.
Give him a hug and buy the man a beer.
Yeah.
But no, Jimmy, we are into the last 30 seconds of this race right now. At the moment, you've still got Quinton Clumpert chasing down John Harley in front of him, and Elmer Van Beek's in the mix as well.
Yeah, so
So
where's Andy White out on track? Because he's going to be determined whether this is the final lap or not. If he's crossing the start, yes, he just crossed the start-finish line with 4 seconds to go. So the drivers have one more lap of the race to go. So the pressure now is on Quinton Clumper and Elmer Van Beek, who are the closest fighting on track for position to get past each other. And obviously, we don't want to step away too long from the leader to finish his lap. We also want to focus on this battle as well. I mean, who do we reckon is going to get it? I mean, Elmer Van Beek is really putting the pressure on Quinton, looking to make that move. Quinton gets
is it a
a
little
little
tap?
too
Is it
deep. I think he was watching his mirrors a little bit too much then. But it looks like John has been unaffected and still maintains the lead.
Quinton knows that Elmer's right there, ready to take him if he does make a mess up there, Jimmy. But
Yeah, I don't. Oh, he's
no,
catching. He's getting them quick, but I don't think John's going to have to take a defensive move. But now we're just going to quickly cut to Andy White as he crosses the start-finish line. So
goes
leader of the race gets 15-second lead. He gained 5 seconds in the last few. Ah,
this guy is
madness.
unbelievable. There
Little
you go,
wiggle, and
little
there you go, little flash.
cross the line. There's your P1. Brilliant
John,
drive from
well
Andy White
done
again.
from him there. And yeah, Craig Corish as well, just behind him, finishing the race there with Jordan Butler getting first place in the AMS. So congratulations to both Andy White and Jordan Butler in this race. A lot of wiggles, a lot of flashes there, just as a little celebration for crossing that line. And yeah, just such close racing between everyone. Oh, nice little donut there from Jordan Butler. He should be very happy with that one. I mean, yeah, and
I'm
Andy White
sure
as
he
well.
will be.
Go on,
He's
Andy.
going to be
If you
buzzing with
can
that
hear
one.
us, give us a little donut. Just to enjoy yourself out there. But no, there are still some cars out racing on track, so drivers do need to be a little bit careful. Simon McPhee, Ryan Clark, and James Vardigans, with Matthew Down just getting ready to cross the line there to get their points. So there comes Ryan Clark with Matthew Down just behind him. And then, yeah, James Vardigans just about to cross the line. Last one to do it, but not in last place. So there we go.
That
What
is
a
that I've got to say, Jimmy, that has been my favourite race so far this season, quite possibly since we've took over here at TRG in the GT3s. This has been an absolutely brilliant race. So much fun to watch and to call there. I'm sure these drivers are absolutely ecstatic with themselves as well. What a
I know.
phenomenal bit of racing we've had out here today for this evening. But I don't know what your thoughts on that one are, Jim.
Oh, I thought it's great. I mean, I've said it a few times throughout the race. I love short track racing because it's just that lovely bit of chaos that gets thrown at you. And I know a few of the drivers weren't happy about it. I mean, I think they prefer the bigger tracks, but from a viewer standpoint, you can't beat a bit of short track. But
No, it's
anyway, so
absolutely brilliant.
now that everyone has crossed the line, the results are P1 Andy White, keeping true form to where he has been the rest of the season, followed by Harry Price and then Glenn Ablard. That's your top 3 in the pros. Then we have Harry Seven, Matthew Down, Craig Corish, Jordan Butler, P1 in the AMS, but P7 overall, followed by John Harley, Quinton Clumpert, Elmer Van Beek, Matthew Massey, Christopher Haynes, James Moore, Ryan Clark, Simon McPhee, James Vardigans, Sean Clark, Adrian Hadfield, then Daniel Paul, Mike Chadwick, Raymond Van Zutphen, Dinan Bronze, Jay Rooney, and Casper Roost, with Jan Whittaker rounding out your top 25 and all of your races there. I mean, Casper Roost, I know I gave him a driver of the day to to Jordan Butler there, but my God, Casper, well done, mate, well done. You made it to the end. It's all over.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just take a breather.
No, Casper. I'm sure we'll see you back up there fighting next week, mate. But Jimmy, we've got a couple of these drivers ready and waiting to speak to us. I want to get our P1 overall in here in the pros. I want to bring in a Mr. Andy White to start us off with today. Andy White, congratulations again, my mate. It's a bit of a common theme of speaking to you each and every week now.
I know, we're getting quite used to it now.
Okay, so you're actually sick of us by the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, congratulations again on your win there.
Yeah, cheers, fellas. That was a very enjoyable race. To be fair, I enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought I would do.
Yeah, we saw you getting stuck a bit in traffic there. How did you find navigating the lap cars as you went round?
Mostly okay. It was just when you was coming up to the battling cars. Obviously, they don't want to yield, and I didn't want to get too much in the way. I was just trying to watch the gap to Harry, but then a couple of times with one of the back markers, he was just breaking a touch early, and he nearly caught me out a couple of times. So I had to make the move on him. But other than that, it was quite easy going. To be fair,
nice.
Mate, you've had an absolute stonking race again.
I was just going quickly. Is there anything that you have to do separately to prepare for a short track rather than the full length thing?
Well, the only difference is with this track is the bump at Village. I mean, as you go through that left-hander, the bump there can be quite deadly, which I found out in practice quite a few times. So I was really, really cautious through there. But yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot more cars everywhere, but yeah, there was a few here and there, but we managed them okay. And yeah, it was a really good race. I really enjoyed it. So well done to everybody.
Nice. Well, congratulations again. And is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to?
Shout out to the team as always. Mono competition, all the support them guys give us. It's fantastic. Shout out to Sean for putting it on every week. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast, and a shout out to the missus and the kids, because I know the missus are always commenting in YouTube. So thanks for the support.
No worries, mate. No worries. Is that Samantha? Is it?
That is, yes.
There you go. She shouted you out real early, mate. She's been with us since the start. But no, well done again, my mate. We're going to let you go and get back to the family and have a nice chill out. But well done again, mate, on P1.
Cheers, fellas. Thank you.
No worries, mate. You have a good evening.
Right, I believe we're going to pull in Mr. Jordan Butler in.
Yeah, Jordan Butler, P1 in the AMS tonight. Jordan, congratulations, mate. How are you feeling?
Hello. Finally, how are you all?
We saw the little the donut at the end of the race there, so clearly you're very happy with your result.
Oh, very, very happy. I mean, I messed up the first race purely on my own. The second race, cold tyres, went into the wall. So I'm just glad I'm here finally.
Yeah, we get to speak to you, mate, and I do apologise for anything you do hear back on the stream about your livery. Don't take it personally.
No, you're all right.
No, you know my feelings on that one, mate. But no, P1 in the AMS, mate. Absolute buzzing race from you there. You've done really, really well again today, mate. Like, what were you thinking the whole way around on that one, mate? Get yourself up into P1. How did you do it?
Oh well, I see. That was about 5 cars in between me and Daniel Paul, when I knew he was first. And I see him go in the pits, and I was like, oh yes. And then me and John, one of my teammates at Spectra, we ended up hitting. And I got a meatball flag. So then I had to come into the pits early, and then as soon as I knew I was like 5-6 seconds in front, I just stopped pushing because I didn't change tyres, and my tyres were gone by the end.
Oh, did you change your tyres?
I was going to ask about that. I mean, how Yeah, was it as sketchy as we figured it was going to be then?
Yeah, I lost a good second and a half during that race, just purely from tyres.
Oh, second and a half a
Well,
lap.
Yeah, a lap.
Yeah,
well,
on a 1 minute lap. That's that's a lot of time to be losing there.
fair play to you then, mate, on getting that P1 then on that one, especially losing that much time per lap. That's an outstanding result for you there, mate. You've got to be buzzing with that.
Thank you. I'm absolutely buzzing.
No, well, it's good to have you back, mate. It's good to have a little chat with you again. It's been a little while, and you never know. Maybe we'll see you again next week.
Hopefully.
But
Hopefully,
before you
mate.
go, is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I'll shout out my girlfriend Chelsea for always supporting me, my 2 kids, my best friend Liam, who always watches every race I do, everybody at Spectre Racing and simworks.uk for the sponsor, and thank you guys for keeping this going and making it all entertaining, really.
Oh,
No,
thank you
you're
very
very
much.
welcome, mate. Thank
We
you
should
very
ask
much for that one.
Liam to get involved in the chat as well. Get him to shout you
Yeah.
out.
Ah,
Mid-race.
yeah, he does every now and then, every other stream he does.
We'll
Nice.
keep a lookout for him on the next one, mate. But we'll let you go for now. You have a good one, and well done again, my mate.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You
See
too.
you later, buddy. See you later. Right then, Jimmy, shall we get, let's get Christopher Haynes in here. P3 in the AMS today he was. Christopher, good evening. Hello. Congratulations on the P3 tonight, my mate. How you feeling? Can
You
he,
know what
can
I
he
say
hear
about
us?
Christopher? He's always very talkative, isn't he?
He's a chatty guy. We normally can't shut him up, but he seems to not want to talk to us tonight. Tell you
Well,
what, we'll
bring in
possibly we'll come back to Christopher Haynes, shall we? Who do you want to get in here, Jim?
let's bring in Andy White and let's have a little. No, we always bring in Andy White. Harry Price. Let's bring in Harry Price and we'll have a little chat with him and then.
Harry, well done. P2 today, my mate. You are just absolutely phenomenal. You and Andy White Pomono up there. I tell you, they've got to be ecstatic with you two. How you feeling, mate? P2 tonight.
No, really good. Happy with that. Was worried going into it with the traffic. Thought it was going to be absolute chaos, and it wasn't that bad really. With times when it was a bit lethal, but yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, great pace from Andy. I couldn't stick with him this time. He was
No,
gone.
it was
But,
quite different to the last couple of weeks where you guys have been within seconds of each other, but about 40 odd seconds above everybody else. You just kind of left you a little bit today.
yeah, it was that in Village on the egg. I think on the exit I was doing that wrong, but I'm still happy with the podium. So I'll
Oh, you
take
done
that.
really, really well, my mate. Really, really well tonight. Look, we're not going to keep you for too long, my mate. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to before we do let you go?
No, not really. Just congrats Randy on the race, and then roll on to is it Fruxton next? Not
Maybe,
next week,
maybe.
something
We'll
like that. Whatever it is, yeah, roll on the next one.
Yeah, you'll find out, mate. You'll find out in a minute. We'll let you know. But no, congratulations again, my mate, on the P2 today, mate. And you never know. Keep up the consistency that you have done for these 3 weeks. We'll probably be speaking to you again next week as well.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
See you later, mate. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Cheers, guys.
See you later, mate. Right, let's try and get Christopher Haynes back in here. See if he can hear us now. Christopher, are you with us?
I think he's still having technical issues.
Yeah,
I mean,
technical issues there from
let-
Christopher Haynes.
let's bring in Casper Roost and let's have a little chat with him then see how he's getting on.
Real quick one, Casper. Hello, my mate. Are you laughing or are you raging?
Oh, I think I've gotten to just laughing.
Well, we did see your comment, mate, in the chat. Well done. You've finished. Congratulations.
yeah, that is definitely the silver lining. I finished.
No, but mate, we've seen your previous seasons. We've seen you in other leagues, other races. You are normally a very good, very consistent driver, mate. Is it just not work out for you today?
I think it was maybe just a case of bad luck, mostly. And one thing the car was doing that it didn't do during practice that I just couldn't figure out is when I was gearing down in some corners, it wasn't like the gearbox wasn't gearing down properly. So it was just I was just losing a few meters every time.
Oh,
So I don't know why it did that. I even checked the settings, and it wasn't because I didn't have auto blip or anything. So
well,
yeah,
Yeah, that's
well,
a bit of a strange one, isn't it?
Well, you've got a
Yeah.
couple of weeks now, mate, until the next one. So plenty of practice, and you never know. We might be speaking to you in a podium position next time. But we're going to let you go, my mate,
Oh,
because we're
actually,
running very
before you
low.
go, I just want to ask him a quick question.
Go on.
What's the inspiration behind the livery? I'm quite liking it.
It's from what's it called, the other league with the GR86, where it's JP Broadcasting that are doing that broadcast, and the
But we'll cut that bit out.
one of the broadcasters nicknamed me the Dangerous Dane, so I just figured, you know what, I'll just stick with that.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Use
It's
the
Danish
village.
Danish
isn't it?
flag. I see it
Okay,
now.
very
I see
nice,
it.
very nice.
We had a lot of the top down, so we didn't see it. We didn't see it like that one, my mate, during the race. But no, there you go. Makes sense. Makes sense. But
Yeah, so it's that, and then I have the rooster on top, just because I have my last name
yeah,
in English. It sounds kind of like rooster, so I figured I'd just go with that as well.
no worries, mate. Well, thank you for clearing that one up for us. But you never know, mate. We might speak to you on the podium spots in a couple of weeks. Anyone know before we let you go that you want to say thank you to, or just give a quick shout out to, mate?
I think I'll stick to the shouting out if I actually get a podium, and I'll just thank you guys for doing the great broadcast that you do.
Thank you very much for that one, Casper. Right, go chill out, mate. Go laugh yourself and go and have a beer or something, mate, and go chill out for the evening.
Yeah, definitely.
Take care, my mate. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye bye.
See you later, mate. Great race, Jimmy. Great race.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, good group of guys, and yeah, great race from everyone there. Sadly, I don't think we've got time to bring Christopher Haynes in. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is checkered flag from us here at Trackside Broadcasting, and checkered flag here at Silverstone International.
So no, Jimmy, you nailed it there. Checkered flag for us all here. Just want to say thank you again, though, to the Tanzo Racing Group, Spectre Racing, and us here at Trackside for bringing you each and every bit of action every single week. Right, we are off next week. It is Easter here in the UK. We've got a lovely 4-day bank holiday weekend, and we are going to enjoy it. So we're going to pick up the action back again on the 13th of April at our usual start time at 7:45. We're going to head back to the south of England because we're going to go to one of my favourites. We're going to Thruxton, James. But for now, everybody, have a good evening. Have a good couple of weeks off. Happy Easter for everyone, and we shall catch you all on the next one.